What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Sports FC. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about something that many of you are probably wondering, and that is whether to put your money or invest into fan tokens or into Chiliz. So you can see here that Chiliz is quite low, and fan tokens are also dipped a little bit, but Chiliz went up, fan tokens went down. And if you guys actually followed the market a little bit, you can see that when Chiliz was going down, the fan token prices, the Chiliz prices were going up. So why is that happen? Why is it that when Chiliz goes down, fan token prices go up, but when fan token prices are, when they're lower, when they go down, then Chiliz is going up? So the reason why is because this is its own ecosystem, right? For example, let's take a team like one of my teams that I grabbed, Inter Milan. Okay, so you can see Inter Milan, it did go down a little bit by 4%, but if Chiliz is going up, shouldn't this go up as well? But that's not necessarily how the prices reflect. Okay, so when you think of fan tokens actually reflect the real world pricing. So you see here AC Milan, it's at 9 USD. So you want to make sure that you look at that. So when Chiliz goes up and down, the prices of fan tokens relatively stay the same, but because it's gone down, Chiliz obviously needs to reflect that. So when you see that when Chiliz goes up, this fan token may be at 31. It may go actually down. Now you may think, oh no, it's going down, but that's not necessarily the case. So when you think about it, fan tokens actually, when at the current moment, the current market, it could change at any time, but fan tokens have been maintaining their value. Like, they've relatively been at a stable price. Now, another thing too to notice about these fan tokens is, they're all different priced. So they're like, so you're probably wondering like, oh, what should I get, or what should I get into? I always say invest into fan tokens that you know about. And this is just my thoughts. I'm no advisor. I'm just someone who does this because I love sports. Get fan tokens that you know of, right? If you know a certain team, then put your fan tokens or put your money into those fan tokens. Now, why would you get Chiliz over fan tokens? The reason why you would get Chiliz is a little more, it's the full ecosystem, right? So if you're not too sure about it, it's kind of like getting an ETF. If you guys know ETF or index funds, an ETF would get the full average, and basically what it would do is it would go up, right? So if you get the S&P 500, so you get the top 500 companies, and then it would kind of average out. So think of Chiliz kind of like that. It's not necessarily like that, but what it does, it's the full ecosystem. So as Chiliz goes up, Socios is going up, the fan tokens are going up, Chiliz should necessarily be going up because everything is run on the Chiliz ecosystem. Now, another thing to also notice is fan tokens are actually on different platforms. Like, some are actually on different platforms. So for example, you can see the PSG are on different platforms, like different crypto platforms. You can see FC Barcelona, you can get Juventus. I believe Manchester City is also there. I can't remember, but I don't think they are just yet. So fan tokens are actually going to be on other platforms as well. So that means that Chiliz to some people may seem obsolete. However, I still think that you could keep some Chiliz. Like, I do have some Chiliz that, not some, I have quite a few Chiliz that are on different platforms, just to kind of keep it there. If it goes up, it goes up, but I'm not gonna use those Chiliz. With fan tokens, you have a little more flexibility if you know the teams. And I want to say this, I want to emphasize this. Don't go out and look at some random team that you have no idea about. Like this team, the other day I looked at this, the Belgian league, I think that's what it is. Yeah, I could do my research. I definitely will do my research and understand why this team is at 11 USD or why it's at 44 Chiliz compared to higher than Inter Milan or whatever. Maybe there's a less quantity. Maybe the supply is actually quite low. It's only 999,000. But again, you want to make sure that you're putting your fan tokens into teams that you understand or leagues that you understand. And if you want F1, F1's great. If there's esports, esports is great. So this could be a little bit more stable, a little less volatile. But then again, once these fan tokens are more established, once they're more stable, right now the fan tokens have all just been released, so some of them are skyrocketing, some of them are going down, but they're relatively maintaining their value. So once they're at a certain price, they're staying, right? So I think, you know, Inter Milan's gonna stay the same, City's probably gonna stay the same, PSG is probably gonna stay the same. Portugal, again, that's one of my favorite ones. I think it's gonna rise eventually. Another one, UFC, I think that one's gonna rise personally. Valencia, that one may rise as well at some point in the future. You know, so you have to know, like, if you understand, then you'll kind of like get a gauge into it. So I wouldn't get into fan tokens unless you understand it, and definitely do your research on teams and understand not just the team in general. Like, one person asked me, oh, why would you get Inter Milan? Like, they're like, you know, they just sold all their players. Well, Inter Milan, if you look at it and you do your research, they're still a very big team. They're the champions of Italy. They're still very high up in the Serie A at the moment. They're in the Champions League, and if you do your research on Socios and Inter, they have a very close partnership. There's some teams that are just there in the background, but Inter Milan and Socios have a very close partnership, which is why I said, you know what, I'm going to invest in fan tokens, and that's why it skyrocketed, right? For example, the UFC, like, it seems like it's a no-brainer, but it's still at this price, but it's been going up. So that's kind of how you gauge fan tokens compared to, you know, in general, but you have to understand these things. And if you don't understand it, you may want to just stick with the Chiliz, because Chiliz will, you know, you're investing into the project itself, and that can really get there, right? People are predicting that this could go up to $1. I don't think it's going to be like Ethereum or Bitcoin, but, you know, my thoughts and my perspective is this could skyrocket eventually, right? So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to share, because I know a lot of you are probably wondering, how do I get into fan tokens? Should I get into fan tokens? If you're not a sports fan, but you really do want to invest into this project, get Chiliz, right? I tell people, like, hey, like, if you don't know anything about it, just stick with something more stable, right? In the future, I think the Chiliz will be a lot more stable than the fan tokens. The fan tokens are a lot more volatile, simply because sports, like, there's a lot that goes in sports. If it's the off season, teams may not be teams that, in my opinion, is time to buy, but I can talk about it in a future video. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any more questions regarding this. I know that it was kind of like a very in-depth, but I can go deeper into like Chiliz and fan tokens. I just wanted to give you guys a quick overview as to whether you should get fan tokens or Chiliz. So if you're looking for something that may be a little more stable in the future, I would say Chiliz. Right now, I would say it's a little more volatile than the actual fan tokens, depending on the teams, of course, like if you understand the teams. But in the future, I do think that the fan tokens will be a little more volatile, simply because, you know, seasons, you know, games, you know, certain transfers, things that go on. So you'll have to be a little more on your toes when it comes to fan tokens, whereas Chiliz, you're investing into the project, so you really just have to look at what's going on with Chiliz and who they're signing with, and they're signing with NBA teams right now. They're doing so much. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys are investing in Chiliz or fan tokens. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks again. Peace.